Like, welcome to
All right,
Showtime.
y'all. We at it again, back in the building. Little family conversations. We got my husband at the head of the table, my son, my daughter, and today we're going to be talking about teenage dating. OMG, yeah, a topic for you guys out there.
Little thoughts.
Oh my goodness. And so what we're going to try to focus on is, should it be allowed? And
No.
if so,
sorry.
to what degree? And then we're going to talk about also if it should be allowed, like at what age, and do different ages mean like different levels or stages of what's allowed in the dating. And then lastly, gender, like is it different rules? It's sets of rules, like if you were a girl versus a boy. Let's get into it. You know, use that comment section. If it's anything that you want us to come back and hit on or do a part 2, we got you. We just out here, you know, families
Having
talking
fun.
about real stuff. Teenage dating, should it be allowed? What you got to say?
So let's I kick it off. The comment section should be a list of no's. I tell you, if you got kids, you know. Now let's talk about the facts first off, right? Naturally, with hormones, girls and boys, naturally that you can't stop that from happening. Wanting to experience things or date or wonder why they feel a certain way towards a certain person as they growing up, developing. And for me, I know back in the day we had young kids that was 12, 13 years old, traditionally that was getting married back in the day. You thinking, what is going on with that? You know, and naturally, it's hard to say that that's how it's supposed to be because we don't want to accept that truth. You know, we deny it because in capitalism, the system is set up where you can't. If you have kids, it's gonna be a struggle. It's gonna be a struggle, and that's how they got set up because we're supposed to be fruitful and multiply. And when you have kids, it take a village. You shouldn't even feel that stress. It should be a joyful thing.
Mm-hmm.
But now, the way the system is set up, it makes it harder for us as adults, being the grandparents, and for the children. And I'm gonna keep it real, especially with color, unfortunately. You know, because we lack resources in a lot of things. We don't have a lot of businesses. I mean, some of us work. We need to own our own in order to be able to create. And not put us in a predicament. But not to get off topic, I think there is a double standard for one, for boys and girls. It's easier and it's okay for boys today. We celebrate that. Oh, you got your girl. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, you got 2 of them. Oh, now both of them fighting. Oh man, you a pimp. You good. I see you. And we glorify that through the rap videos, through the system, all that. Now the script is kind of flipping a little bit. You know, you see these girls, you see them on social media, hot girl summers, you know, you see all this OnlyFans and they pimping these dudes out and all this stuff on social media, so everybody's out getting everybody. And these young people, they seeing this and they learn this, but their hormones is it's natural that they are experiencing.
So to answer the question, you know, now that you stated a lot of different things, how you feel, to be exact, teenage dating, you said no at the beginning. It should be a list of no's in the comment. It shouldn't be allowed at all.
It should, in this system, in this time of the day, it's hard to say.
But
it shouldn't be allowed. But
view.
from my point of view, because I take consideration of facts and hormones, I think the way things set up, no, necessarily it shouldn't be allowed. What age?
Teenagers. What's the teenager?
To you.
So that's what I'm saying. Age group. That's hard because hormones start kicking in, 13, 14, even sooner for some girls.
So let's just go with what people identify as a teen.
Decent dating age for me is 16 to
So
17.
that's a teenager. So it should be allowed, but just at a certain age.
At a certain age.
Gotcha.
Yeah, with stipulation, yeah.
Teenager, it should or shouldn't be allowed, and if so, what age?
Okay, so I got a question. I don't know. I'm asking you.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say? What does it say in the Bible?
Well, a lot of relationships in the Bible seem to be young. Even if you want to look at 2 people that are talked about a lot, like Mary and Joseph, a lot of people don't know they were not adults. They were actually teenagers.
So,
But time is always changing and evolving, and people kind of come up with their own sets of rules. And like my husband pointed out, a lot of our grandparents and stuff like that got married young.
well, I don't know. When do y'all get y'all periods?
Oh my goodness. It's
Don't it
different.
depend?
My family, for about 4 or 5 generations now, we've been between 9 and 10 years old.
So
That's a start.
so I got a question. So once you get your period, you can reproduce after that.
Once you get your menstrual cycle, you're able to reproduce. Is your body ready for it? Necessarily, no. It doesn't mean, ooh, I got my menstruation and I'm ready now.
So you said from 9 to 11 is when majority of people.
Some people get theirs later. Some people don't get theirs to 17. 16,
Really?
17, yes.
Really?
Some people are very late bloomers with
I
their
know
menstruation.
late.
I know
Okay,
a couple personally.
Okay, but the average, we can.
I don't know. I would have
Average
to
is about
research what the
13.
average is.
Good, 12, 13, maybe.
Yeah, might
That's
possibly.
what I see.
So
That's
you
what I
asked that
know
to
is
ask what
facts.
while you're Googling for what the average age of menstruation is.
Okay, I'll ask that because let's say it was 9 people get their 9 to 11, and then if you say it's not ready immediately, it's gonna take a few years after that.
Yes.
And a few years after that would be about 15 to 16 to
Yes.
17 when
Yes.
everybody started getting horny.
Yes.
Facts.
Yeah.
Now, this is so, and I bring this up because it's different in each part of the globe. You got some part of the globe that's okay for 14, 15 to get married, but then you got us. You be like, no, that's not okay. But you got everybody's not on the same thing. So that's why I refer back to the Bible, because if you're Christian, we go back to the Bible. So which
Or
way is
even
the right
like
way?
with, I think Jewish tradition is the male is a man at 13, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, part of that, and then I know with the Amish, they say as soon as they can grow their beard out,
Oh,
for men, they
man.
consider, hey, you a man. Officially,
Yeah,
you
this
know?
is, we
That's
want to
what-
know what
this is
y'all
our
thinking
tradition.
out
Yeah, it's
there.
different.
All
So
races, all
I agree
creeds.
with Brian I agree with whoever said it depends on the household, because everybody could think different. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Some people can go back off like, well, you can't do nothing until you this age, or you can't do nothing until you that age, and some people might think differently.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I'm hearing is different from around the globe and around is different.
Mm-hmm.
Because what that movie we was just watching, age of consent was what, 16? You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And the white dude was like, was like, well, wait,
Edit that out.
He was like,
We don't
wait.
remember what his name was,
Yeah.
so we just calling out his color.
Yeah,
How about that?
the main character
Mama
was
Caucasus.
like, well, ain't this illegal? He's like, well, in the state of New Jersey, it's not. He's like, what do you mean? So that means where they was from originally,
Yeah,
that
they're
wasn't
used to that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
That's not new.
So that means it's not consistent around
Right.
everywhere you go.
Not even so much nature,
Just the natural body.
but what each culture and
Yeah.
what each like family tradition,
Right.
like your moral compass on it
Right.
is different, and it's
Yeah.
and so pretty much your environment you grew up in
Mhm.
and where you live at
Mhm.
caters to your decision on this. Now that we're getting into it, Jayla, woo, the teenager at the table, y'all, 17. So, should teenage dating be allowed? If so, to what degree? Like, what all is we allowing? What age? And should gender matter?
I think it depends on your child, like how you see them work in a relationship, and everybody saying, the households are different, and there's plenty, like Romeo and Juliet laws are here, but not in some places, so you can't really look to the outer public to see what they think, because everybody is different. So I think it depends on what your child is doing and how they incorporate you in their relationship, because they are still a child, and this is something natural and something that happens with every single body on this earth. Like, God literally created a woman for Adam. You're supposed to date. You're supposed to be in a relationship. You're supposed to talk to somebody to develop that. So being a teenager, like I'm 17, so that's almost 18. So it's like, what's the difference between right now and then when I'm 18 and out the house, and you no longer get to see how I work in a relationship or go about it,
Okay. I, just a little background on myself. I got pregnant. This guy right here. when I was 15 years old and gave birth to him at the age of 16. He was born 1 month after my 16th birthday. And it's a hard road out there. It's what they feel and what they see their peers do, and these days, social media. When I was growing up, wasn't no cell phone and TikToks and Snapchats and all of that. But we had our peers, and we had what we saw on BET, Cinemax Midnight. And that's even enough of a heavy influence to if you are not careful and no one's talking to you about how to control your hormones and what all is the limit while you're supposedly dating, it can go too far and you can end up giving birth to a child, and then life gets harder. Not like life alone ain't got enough challenges. So at the same time, the question is, what's the point of dating? The Bible says a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. And I believe, unlike what I've done in the past myself, now that I'm older, I believe dating should be for the purposes of finding a mate, now that I'm older and mature. Because besides that, truth be told, you're just looking for somebody to get it on with, or either have fun with. Now, I know that our children have to go out into this world. And I do believe in creating safe experiences for them while they're under your roof versus going out into the world and then everything coming at them hardcore. I kind of rather you have some type of experience under the roof with me where I can visually kind of see and hear more and guide you. So I'm okay with the boyfriend thing to a certain point. I think that shouldn't start till about 17, 18, 19. And I also feel like that boy should be no more than 1 year older than you and into what you into. So if you're 17 in school, then they should be in school too. Not no out of school for 2, 3, 4 years, because at that point, this 19, 20, 21 year old, they're grown. And yes, they're at the beginning of grown life, or some people say you're only grown when you can take care of yourself. I get that, but my point is teenagers and boundaries, and that's probably gonna have to be a part too. And as far as gender, that kind of stinks, because you know what it is, and I'm gonna keep it real, because let me get the elephant out of here. We're scared that our girls are gonna get pregnant, and we know darn well more times than not it's the female that end up taking care of the baby, while the boy, if he decides not to be in the child's life, go on about his business. And so the only fear for the boy sometimes is that he don't get no diseases. It's two concerns for the girl. It's diseases and pregnancy, because now you got to carry that your whole life. That child ain't going nowhere. We might could work on getting rid of a disease.
So when you say that you think dating shouldn't start to be allowed until you 17 and up. So when people normally you get kicked out the house, or you leave the house at 18.
That depends. That's a whole nother subject. I don't feel like you're ready to stand on your own 2 feet just because I turned 18.
But okay, even if they don't kick them out the house, they ready to leave at 18, no matter if they ready or not, because there's so many rules once you're younger. Like when I was young and I was going through my teenage years, it was so many rules. I didn't care if I was ready or not. I was gone. I was tired of walking to school. I was tired of getting, I was getting whoopings with a belt. When I was 17 years old, I graduated.
I'm still young.
I'm still young. I graduated high school at 17. So you tell it. So I just felt like I was locked in a cage. And the consequence of that is when I had freedom, it was over with. It was gone. It was rampage. It was not controlled. Now, if I would have started earlier and learned how to control it while I was under the safety of my parents, and then once I did have the freedom, I knew how to control it. Okay, this is not my first time having freedom. I know how to control it. Now I'm 18, and I can say F you to you and F you to you, and I can be gone because I don't got no. You feel me? But then I don't get in trouble by y'all. I get in trouble by somebody else.
Like Popo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The law.
And like,
so that's living and
So-
learning and maturity. And so now something different is being done with her. She's being given way more freedoms that with your dad, because he raised you for the most part, you weren't given. You know what I mean? And even when you were with me and under my care, you weren't given certain freedoms, but we live and learn and mature, and so she's being given
Do you
way
feel like
more
you free,
freedom.
Jayla? Do you feel like you got the freedom that you want?
Maybe not the freedom that
Well,
she want, but
yeah,
more
I'm
freedom
free
than
too.
you had is what I'm pointing
Oh
out.
yeah, for sure. I was a slave. For sure.
What are you thinking
I don't know
about all of
that,
this?
man? I'm taking this all in. how many times, you know how we talk about preacher, pastor kids, right?
Ooh, they the
How we
worst.
keep them, yeah,
PK kids.
PK kids. You keep them stuck in there, they're gonna be curious naturally. Like, hey, what's going on out there? Why my friend can do this? Why I can do this and do that? You know. And I know Amar, his situation, where he talked about his grandma and how she wanted things in order, how people want things in order, even for his dad and all this stuff, you know, and what he saw growing up. Again, they always go back to the foundation, what you see at home.
Mm-hmm.
You say you want to teach Jayla stuff. It's funny because Jayla can see it from us without necessarily, you should still have to talk with her, but you don't have to really teach her because she's seeing what's around her. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I see marriage. I see how you got that in order. I'm supposed to have this. I'm supposed to have that. For her, you know me, I'll be like, man, you ain't got to date till you 25.
Yeah, but it sucks to
21,
go to
25.
prom by yourself.
I ain't never been to prom.
Let me tell you, I ain't never been there either. And what we talk about kings and queens and the system, right? Because you go to prom, what they do? They always gonna have who's the king and queen of the high school, and you have only one or two kings and queens, right? And then everybody else feel like they ain't worthy enough to be that in that position. So the system, again, I'm gonna have y'all think. Let's think outside the box just for a minute, and then we come back. Tell me, how bad would it be if we didn't have no worries as far as having to pay bills? We had all the money in the world. We ain't got to go out to work. We ain't got to do nothing. Stress free, right? How much stress are we gonna put in? Emphasis we gonna put in? Let's say somebody young getting pregnant. It's not even based off the age necessarily. It's based off the stress level of
why you want to
when
hit
you want
on
to take
that
it. Yeah,
like that.
let's just think outside the box. Because I'm keeping it real. If we was on an island and had nothing else to worry about, as soon as she's able to get pregnant, that's going to be a blessing. We're going to be like, oh my God, that is a blessing. And we just need you and want you to find the right one. That's what it comes
we
down
want
to.
you to be happy
Right,
and
be
safe.
happy. So if she
Happy and
turn
safety.
14, 15, get pregnant, have a kid, no
Happy
stress.
and
You won't
safety.
even think about it.
Yeah,
You know
right.
what I mean? Because that's a blessing.
You're right.
So
I agree.
what it comes down to, again, is a system. Are you able to take care of yourself? You need education. Because I ain't about to be taking care of no kids. You know what I mean?
Research it again, because I think they said Mary, even though she was the Virgin Mary, still, I mean, God picked a teenager, if I'm correct.
Yeah, no, it was.
To
It was.
birth
To
Jesus.
birth Jesus. And that's where I'm getting at. Because that we're stressing over, again, the system, taking care of yourself. Hey, that's
I'm
the
gonna catch
biggest
some
thing we
flack
talk
for that.
about.
People gonna be in the comments, Mary wasn't no teenager.
No. Yeah, that's molestation, ain't it? But yeah, it's just these rules we got set up that's messed up, right? So I think that's what stresses everybody out, as opposed to, you got some people that make it, they got so much money. Like, for example, Eddie Murphy, he's like, man, I just want to have a bunch of kids, and I want my daughters, I want to have a lot of grandkids, because they ain't got no worries in the world.
They ain't got no
you got a
worries.
village, and that's what most important in the world. You ain't got to worry about
So
that.
does that become fair to the teenager that we're changing how we feel based
So
on?
let's keep it real. It's really not fair for all these
What'd you
kids,
say,
young
Jay?
kids.
Based off of fear.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
But the thing is, okay, what your dad has given is a hypothetical. But unfortunately, we don't get to live in a hypothetical world. We have to live in the world of reality. And reality, you see for yourself. I know you seen them kids in your school pregnant and stuff like that.
But that's just because of the choices they make, and then once again, their parents. Because I can tell you, anybody that's been pregnant in my school had all the exact same type of parents. Not caring what they did, being more of a hype man than a parent. So I don't have hype man parents. My parents tell me how it is, and they show me how it is, and so I walk and act how it is because I see how it is, you know.
And so you just want some trust to show that,
I can be responsible.
okay, but what about what I was saying? Like, when I said I'm okay with you having, me and your dad just told you less than a week ago, Dad was like, one, I really, if you want to be real, I don't want you dating at all. He was like, but if I gotta live in the world of reality, he was like, you know, telling you, what about somebody in your school versus somebody that ain't in your school no more? How do you feel about that?
I
The
feel
fact
like
that
age don't matter
I know
because
she's
y'all.
right.
Like,
I know
it
that's
don't
her
it
example.
matter.
No.
don't matter, but to a certain point, because after you're 18, you're not going out there. Are you older than me? Are you younger than me? No, you're not. You're really
Well,
not.
I don't know, because I see what you're saying.
I don't
Yeah.
know. We do
No,
ask each other
I see
how
what you're saying.
old you
Yeah,
are,
but
and
if
when
you're
you're an
25,
adult,
you're not gonna go be with no 50-year-old. But if you're 25, you would go be with a 30.
but
Okay.
you're not in our world. We do ask each other that question. We were in our 20s when we met, And I asked your dad. It was part of the conversation. Oh, where you
you're gonna
from?
ask
How old are
somebody
you?
Hey,
how
listen,
old
no,
they
this what
are.
because I see what she's saying. Down the line, yeah, it don't matter. It could be a 26-year-old dating a 60-year-old, 50-year-old. It's like once you get to a certain
Oh, yeah.
threshold and experience
Is the
in life,
2-year age gap bad?
only because of the system and how it's set up.
But-
Is it bad in reality? No.
So
Like,
why are we giving into the system? Is my question.
so
Lord.
that's why I keep always bringing up these hypothetical situations.
But it's
Unfortunately,
not
we got to play this game. No, okay. So if this boy, let's say, and I'm gonna give an example. Let's say 17-year-old was with 18, 19-year-old, right? He turns around, sleep with that girl, and don't get her pregnant. But the parents find out. Guess what? Yeah, they be pissed off and he's going to jail, right? But guess what? He can get out of jail if she get pregnant. And it probably take, you know what I'm saying, like a year later. And I know somebody who did that and then turn around and he was able to get out because he's a father.
He like, if I had a known, I wouldn't have gave her that plan B.
No, it ain't that serious. No, you good. Because, yeah, and he got out a year later because she's pregnant. So now he's a father. That gives him the right. But that's just the system. And I agree.
So
You should-
I'm
Why are
curious
we
about
so
this.
focused on pregnancy?
Because
That's
it is a big
It's a
thing
big
that changes the game.
But once again, it comes to the household. Do you guys think that I am sitting here right now thinking sex? No.
Guess what?
You
We all
guys
sit here
know
thinking that.
But I think
She
that
like-
I think you're fibbing a little bit. If
I mean,
you,
of course, everybody thinks about
Okay, that's
sex,
all I'm saying. Just
but
keep
I'm
it
not,
real
I'm not
then.
sitting here thinking, I just
I
can't
gotta
have a
do it
boyfriend
now.
with
I'm
me.
thinking-
No, I know that.
And-
I don't trust the guy though. I'm thinking of
That part.
That's the
Yeah,
part.
that
That part.
That
That's
part.
right.
And let me
I'm
tell you
thinking-
this.
It's not about you
Yeah,
at all.
exactly.
If
It's not
women,
about
if
you.
women are keeping it real, we're very emotional creatures. And as soon as we believe somebody deeply, truly cares about us and loves us for real, half
boy.
of what we talk, sometimes we
Go
struggle
off
to
the
keep it in our brain and act on it. Sometimes our guard goes down. I'm not saying every woman, but a vast majority, your guard go down. And it's not that you don't know better, but you struggle to do better. How are you? What do you haven't even had the experience, and we're trying to keep you from it. So you don't have that moment of weakness, and then it'd be like, dang, it really is real, like they said it was. Why even play with
Put yourself in
fire?
that situation.
Why
'Cause
play with
Jayla-
fire at all?
She's strong. She
say,
can do it.
you guys
but-
say, B, talk to the people in my school, but I can give you a literal fact where I've been asked from a boy I talked to, literally asked for oral fellatio in the stairway. And that's with someone my age, not let alone younger than me a little. So I just guess it doesn't really add up for me. You
So
know?
if they
No,
dirty, they
because-
dirty.
So many possibilities.
See, no. Jay, what you haven't experienced, it's a lot of different
Yeah.
types of
Types
boys.
of guys.
Yeah, it's a lot of
That's
different.
what I'm
Like when you
saying.
run into
Man.
a dude
The right
like
one?
me who gonna put that bug in your ear, it's what she's saying. It's hard for you to, you know better, but it's hard for you to do better.
But
Like if you go to a round little boy that's like, give me this, you're not gonna. It's easy to tell him no. But when you run into a real stand up nigga that's seeing everything seen right, you gonna be like.
Y'all sitting there talking about anime and all that.
Yeah,
hey,
exactly.
he
You like,
I like him. But
It's
Jayla-
been a year.
Babe,
It's
let me
been
tell
6
you.
months. It's been
Yeah.
8 months. Oh, a little kiss won't hurt, and that's where it started. Oh, a little let me rub.
But what I told Jayla the other day is we can't stop that. That's gonna happen regardless. We can't stop it. The more we try to stop it, the faster it's gonna happen.
That's if you
Well,
put that out there in the atmosphere.
I know
But
you going off your
I think
experience.
that
So,
out there,
you know,
it's a bad, upstanding
What
guy
I'm thinking
pretending-
is that you're smart, and I'm not fully worried about you. I'm more worried about
the boys.
The
That's what
boys.
I'm saying.
So then is that not like maybe opening up more to even see what the boy's about?
So let me ask you this question. I started
No,
to ask
I
you
can't
before
do
they
that.
before they
Exactly.
went where they
I
went.
was
I
there,
started
I'm
to ask
19.
you
No,
this.
no chance.
So here's the question: what makes you, Jayla, personally, not your peers, not everybody in the world? I want to focus on us right now. Even though, yes, the world is about to be part of this, and y'all, we welcome your comments and we want to know what y'all going through in y'all household. But if we can just focus in on you, what makes you want to try dating so bad? You're not interested in sex. What do you? What's the?
I don't.
Is they serious over here?
I don't. It's not that
Right.
I don't want to date so bad. I'm not out here looking for a boyfriend. I'm not.
No. You feel like
But
you found one,
I feel like one found me,
and you want to be with
and I
him?
want to explore that safely
What-
with my smartness.
What is it that you want out of this relationship? What is it that you want to explore?
That's like a hard question. Like,
Not
I'm
really.
thinking about marriage, but
Of course.
So what do you want to explore?
She just want to explore what's seen on social media, what's
Yeah,
happening
what you
around
see.
us. You
every
feel me?
that what
Well,
happens
you, I
in
mean, you know,
everybody's
babe. I mean,
life.
you felt like you was like, oh, I
And
want to
even
explore.
if it's not about sex, you just want to explore having somebody outside of your family to, talk to besides another girl. Like it's I'm telling you, it's
yeah,
natural.
it's inevitable. It's gonna happen.
It's
You
gonna
know,
happen.
you can't
It's
change
natural.
it.
We got grown man's take, grown woman's take, young man's take, young lady's take.
I'm finna be 30. I'm
Don't
grown.
put in the
You
comments
about to
on
be
there, man.
30.
No, didn't he say 52 last
Last week he was 52, this week he's
They lying on
30.
there, really.
Yeah, so we want to know what's going on in you guys' households. How are you guys handling it and approaching it? Like, let's keep it real. Let's have this community conversation. And also, if you want us to talk about something in particular, drop that down in the comments too. We definitely will read and respond to every comment. We appreciate the views. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, all that other good stuff. And we'll be back next week with another video. Bye.
All right, peace, y'all. Peace.